and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. And we back, and we back. Hey, this ain't no intro, this the entree. Hit that intro with Kanye. I sound like Andre, tryna turn my baby mama to my fiance.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lindz Does It, and this is the Fillennials Podcast. Welcome to another episode. Today, we have very special guest host, Ray Ramundo, actor extraordinaire. How you doing, sir?
The introduction's crazy, Lindsay. What the?
I was like, should I embellish more? But nah,
Man, hold up, relax, chill. No, I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here on the Fillennials Podcast.
Yeah.
I've been watching your guys' stuff. It's crazy. I was saying to you earlier, like, you guys, as soon as I saw the name, I'm like, oh, Filipino millennials. That's such I get it right away. It's support right away, follow. You know what I mean?
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because I was talking to Hazel not too long ago, and it's like we're so used to having our listeners and viewers just be friends of ours. So whenever we meet someone that meets us just purely off of like the Fillennials reach, it's crazy. It's mind-boggling. So social media's working.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I mean, it's Thursday. It's almost the end of the week. It's Friday Junior, as some young people would call it. And I cannot wait for the weekend. You know, having a 9-to-5 job is a little bit taxing, but coming here to do the Fillennials, it definitely gives me much needed creative outlet, you know.
I agree with that. I feel that. I do work a 9-to-5 on top of my creative work. And so I feel you. I feel you.
The struggle is real.
Also production design. Wow.
Got a zhuzh.
Wow.
Zhuzh and
What is zhuzh? What's the actual definition of zhuzh?
So the actual definition, I don't know. But if you were to, if I was to make a guess, it's to like fluff, primp, improve upon the appearance of which you are poofing.
Is this a TikTok thing or is this the original? Like?
Oh, I'm just guessing what zhuzh means.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's like there's so many slang on social media like zhuzh. Then one of the newest things is like everyone's like, oh, I got that aura. You know, I'm like
aura points.
Aura points. Like who and then obviously you already know Riz. You know the originators, right?
Charisma.
Right. I'm just like, damn, like back then it's like you got the juice. Now it's the Riz. You know what I mean?
The juice. I like
right?
that. Bring that one back.
Or you got the sauce.
The sauce.
Sauce.
I like this. I like that better. That's the best. Let's bring that back. I don't know what a riz is. I mean, I know now.
I don't know what a riz is.
Yeah, like yeah, right. Like what?
What's riz?
Ano ba yan?
Ano bang riz?
Is that good or bad?
Yeah, that's hella funny.
Oh my gosh. So you just threw your Filipino accent at me.
I did.
All right.
I did.
So I was going to save this for a little bit later, but I kind of want to talk about your projects. One in particular, because you just like jogged my memory. In a movie called Shotgun Wedding.
Yes.
From 2023.
Correct. Yep.
You played a security guard with a heavy Filipino accent.
I did.
And as we're sitting here, I mean, I guess you guys can see that he has absolutely no Filipino accent, but you just turned it on like that.
Yeah.
My question is to you, who was your muse when you were practicing for that role?
Deadass, my mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom, and then like kind of like just all my aunties and uncles. Like when you say muse, like who did I like kind of like shape the accent off of?
Yes.
Yeah, no, my mom. No, I make fun of my mom all the time. Not in a way to like humiliate her, but like it's just that's just how we were raised. I understand like there's no F in the Filipino alphabet.
Yes.
That's why they say fish, it's bish, or bark. I'm going to bark the car, or when they say that.
Fark the car.
Yeah, fark the car. But yeah, that was the muse of who I kind of like shaped my Filipino accent, but also just as an actor of trying to authentically portray that as well. Yeah.
Did you feel comfortable auditioning for that role, knowing that you had to like dig deep and like pull that accent out because you naturally don't have that accent?
So that's a good question. Yes and no. I'll go with the yes. I was comfortable, correct? I was comfortable because I knew this scene wasn't to like make a what's the word? Not a joke, but kind of like a spectacle of the accent.
Yeah.
I really was a security guard in this private wedding Bahamas thing that J-Lo and Josh Duhamel's character. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'm like this tall, really rugged Filipino guy working at the thing. And if you guys don't know the story, if you guys don't know the movie right by now, you guys should watch it. It's basically Josh Duhamel and J-Lo get married. Jennifer Coolidge, Lenny Kravitz is in it, and a bunch of pirates, take over the wedding. And so I'm just the security guard in there.
Damn.
And I thought like, yeah, it makes sense to use the accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I was born in there, and then I'm also like, pretty brown,
Mm-hmm.
But that's in their conversation.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, oh my gosh. I think we have yet to talk about,
Mhm.
colorism on the Fillennials. So if you
Yeah.
ever want to come back and we can, chit chat about
Yeah.
that. I know that's definitely a hot topic that's been going on for generations. But
Yeah.
yeah, we could definitely save that for another day because it's a whole
Yeah.
big world to talk about. But yeah, that's really dope. So for you to be working like side by side with some really big names, like how was that for you? Did you feel intimidated at all or self-conscious or
I was really mainly just ecstatic because I've always known that I wanted to be acting as a kid. And for me to really put the words and manifest, say like, no, I want to be on TV. Like I grew up watching Family Matters, Fresh Prince, you know what I mean? Like shows like that, and watching movies like with Will Smith. That's my inspiration. But it was their dream come true, honestly, to say like I'm in a feature film movie with these actors. And I was nervous, but mainly excited.
nice. I love that. So how old were you when you discovered your passion for acting or that you had that interest in acting?
I kind of already knew when I was like 3 or 4, because my dad, I'm the youngest out of 5, and he always had the big ass camcorder on his shoulder. So I always knew I wanted to be in front of the camera.
Oh,
And
nice.
so there's always something. I think you can speak on this. Like just in the Filipino culture, we just love to entertain, and we love to sing, dance. And they're always like, "Oi, go dance now," and then you'll get fucking money for it.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So were you like the source of entertainment at all the family parties?
Yeah, we get the ocho ocho, fucking, all that. That's like the OG. Like if you want to throw it back, you throw it back with that. You know what I mean?
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Throw it back with the Ocho Ocho. Hell yeah. Yo, if you guys don't know, the Ocho Ocho was a late 90s song, I believe.
That shit's a bop.
Yeah, it's a bop, and that was Filipino twerking before twerking actually had that definition or that
Mhm.
name to it. So, yeah, if you don't know about it, look it up,
Yeah.
and you can thank me later.
Yeah, ocho ocho. Yeah.
Ocho Ocho. So, to kind of take it back to a couple weeks ago, we actually just met
Correct.
at our
Ronnie.
homie Ronnie Boy
Ronnie-
kids party.
Ronnie Boy.
Ronnie Boy. And we actually do have some mutual friends as well.
Mhm.
Nino Linero being one. He
Mhm.
is like I forget his title. He's something big at Mix.
He's the executive creative producer
There.
at the content at Mix.
There we go. There
Yes.
we go. I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit about what you guys are doing together because as far as us having mutual friends, I just noticed that you were on his stories on Instagram not too long ago. And I just had a couple questions because
Yeah.
I thought you were just an actor, but you're actually more than that.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why I know Nino is because one of my good friends, Cassandra Pimentel, she's also a music video director, very talented music video director from San Diego, and she actually hosted an event called Tapped In, where it's her mixer in San Diego, kind of like OC, where we would have a lot of female artists host and lead this whole like, same thing like this. They have a Q&A panel of like, oh, what's your take on being a film director, as an actress, as a singer, all that stuff. And that's where I met Nino, and he kind of introduced. He's like, hey, I have this script called Connecting. It's about kind of like a nostalgic period piece where I know you know what AIM is, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so I used to have like an instant message, and it's kind of like how people used to connect back then, and then 20 years later, we're in the world now, and then you never know those people, where those people are. And that's kind of like a long lost, like, connecting story, literally like a love story of how those two people, I'm one of the characters who is the love interest.
Oh,
So that's all I'm gonna say.
Check that out. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I want to definitely check that out. I want to like know more about the story already. So you guys are working on that now. Is it close to completion?
Yeah, we're actually gonna shoot it next week.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So you know what? I bring this up too because not only do you act, you also do photography, and what else do? You do a lot.
So I'm also a singer. So I grew up doing a lot of musical theater. So like I could sing all the show tunes, all the Bruno Mars songs, you know, all the Celine Dion songs, you know, all by my like.
Oh, Kaya.
What's your favorite Celine Dion song or Whitney Houston? Just one. You can only pick one from each.
Okay, off the top of my head, "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion, and then Whitney Houston, "Run to You."
My girlfriend, when I first met her, she was like, "Oh, that song." I wanna run to you. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the high note right now.
I can't harmonize because I can't sing. But
that song, I think that's her number one song.
Oh, so good.
Because there's "Saving All My Love for You."
Yes.
There's "I Will Always Love You." There's "Greatest Love of All." But "Run to You" is kind of like the song. It's like, I want that. You know?
Yes. Oh, it's the longing.
The longing.
Longing.
That's why "Die with a Smile" is so good.
Oh, "Die with a Smile" is excellent.
Because it's so maarte, so dramatic, it's so passionate.
Yes.
And I think that's why people love feelings and shit like that.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it when you said dramatic, because Filipinos love the drama.
We do.
We love to act it out. We love to like just spill our guts and like leave it all out on the floor, and just, even if we're not actually going through that pain, when we're singing a song like that, we transform into the singer, into Whitney Houston.
Yeah, and that's why these performances are so like powerful. When you see, like, that's why I love power ballads. Like I'm not even like messing with you. Like at the gym, I'll listen to power ballads all the time.
Journey.
Yeah, I'll listen to "Don't Stop Believing." I'll listen to like. I will listen to like "Because You Love Me."
That is an amazing song.
Yeah. But back to the point of what I do. So I am a singer. So I'm an actor, a singer, a dancer, and then on the side, I would say on the side, it's part of my creative who I am. I do do photography and videography, and the reason why I do that is because doing a lot of acting from 2010, doing musical theater, transitioning to like film and television, I've been in front of the screen for almost 10 years and doing a lot of theater, like my first 5 years. At this point, it's like, what else can I actually do to improve? There's always something to learn.
Yeah.
What can I do as an actor to understand both sides of what everyone's doing? Like, so understanding lighting, understanding the photography composition, right? How can I tell a story, and how can I be better on front and behind the camera? So that's what I do.
Nice. So in other words, you know your angles.
Correct. Yeah, that's also when it comes. Yeah, I also model as well. So like, that's why when it comes to modeling, it really is just, I am acting. It's just a single frame.
Oh, I love
You see
that.
what I mean?
That makes so much sense. Because I mean, you're gazing, and it's like, yeah, it's totally acting. You're putting yourself in a position that might not feel natural, but you know that's what you need for that moment, and you're using that height to your advantage.
Yes. Yeah. Hold on. Can I do a special shout out to a team? I want to give a special shout out to the Lounge booth. This is Charles and Leo's photo booth company. They're basically a brand activation photo booth media company. I would say not media company, but they're a photo booth company where we do a lot of brand activations at like premieres, weddings. Like, do you know what the Gold Gala is?
No.
But so like Gold House is kind of like the Asian gala. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and so
nice.
I remember one of their goals was kind of like to be there in 2021. They were there to basically capture and like cover that event. And I think it's really amazing that both of them are Filipino from San Diego, and I think it's really cool to learn all this stuff with them through composition and lighting and everything with them. And that's why I'm able to also connect with people even more with photography. And I think it's really fun capturing people and stuff with making moments. So, but yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Fuck, I hella rambled.
No. No, please go ahead. Rambling is my middle name, and so
No.
I can totally like I feel you on that. And when you're on the other side of the camera, like okay, just as someone that is uncomfortable in front of the camera and uncomfortable taking pictures, like how do you make your subject feel at ease?
Yeah, great question. So after taking a lot of photos of like just many different types of people, there are people who are comfortable and not comfortable, correct?
Yeah.
You want to be categorizing you're not comfortable.
I'm not.
So I mean, just like this, saying hi, like, oh my God, hi, and they'll say, oh, I don't know how to pose. Don't worry, I got you. And then I think reassuring them that they won't feel the anxious thoughts in their head, that I got you. And what happens is that I take the photo, and then we have a photo, like a monitor that you can see, and then they're like, okay, I want to look like that. Okay, if you're sitting down, okay, you're already in the crisscross pose. Turn to the side and put your double hands like that, right there. And then lean over, and then turn your nose, and then take a deep breath. When I say close your eyes on 3. I want you to give me confidence. And 1, 2, 3, and then open, and then boom, right there. That post right there.
He did it.
No, I'm saying like right there.
I made it, y'all.
Right there is right there. I captured that.
That's awesome.
And then the fun thing about the lounge booth is like we really love hyping and making people like oh shit, dang, and then all the girls like oh my god, I'm gonna do it again, and then I'll do it, I give them different poses. It's just having fun, and then like not really worrying about how you look, and just having the experience. And that's what I felt when I first met them. They made me feel like, oh, this is such a great experience, and that's why I think they are who they are today. And I just that's why I gave them a special shout out with that stuff.
Awesome.
It's about making people feel seen as well, and having these memories to look at these really high quality photos.
Dope. What's the name of the company again?
The Lounge Booth.
The Lounge Booth. Look them up, y'all.
Yeah, the Lounge Booth. There, and now we have a subdivision called Lounge Booth Weddings, and like I love doing weddings because it's such a happy time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then everyone. That's the whole point. Like they're, see the bride and groom. You take photos of them, but then what about all the guests who show up looking good? We also want to capture them in such a professional indoor studio, like like high quality as well. So we get them to get their good photos, so that way they can see it as well as the bride and groom.
The unsung heroes, the photographers at the weddings and the debuts and, all those special things, the wedding anniversaries and the vow renewals and all that stuff. Love that. So with your skills behind the camera, before we started recording, you were telling me about this project you were doing. You're working on a short.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and talk about that. That sounds super exciting.
No, thank you for asking that. My writer friend, Kirsten Villanueva, he has a short film called Buzzcut. I met him in 2023 through this challenge called A Bunch of Savages Challenge, where we would have a prompt to write about, like, we had to write a script about a prompt, and he won that challenge. And I met him through there, and I saw his film. It was great, and we connected, and we decided to collaborate together, not only with just this main project I'm about to talk about, but we also collaborated with a mental health collaboration recently called Real Talk, Navigating Creativity and Mental Health through the industry and stuff. And we had that event happen a week or two ago. And it's amazing. It was like almost 100 people came out to support and for us to create a space. And so we created mental health specs as well, concerning like colorism stuff, and then kind of like the mental health. And now the main project we're doing now is called, it's a film called 2007. And it's basically two brothers kind of connecting through video games. So if there's any video game people who just play video games, that growing up, playing video games with your cousins is kind of like a great way to like connect and just, have you played video games growing up?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. My older cousins, they have Mortal Kombat. I didn't know what I was doing, but they let me play, and I felt like so included. Yeah. And
so Halo 3 was kind of like one of the biggest Halo out of the whole series, and it's basically two brothers connecting while playing a video game. And I was telling you about earlier that we really want to tell a visual story with just seeing them sit in the awkwardness that my character isn't as close to him, and my little brother's kind of like very closed off, and you just kind of see how seeing an activity together can bring them to like closer as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting because the small, like 10-second snippet that you showed me, and you were explaining to me like the roles between big brother, little brother,
Mm-hmm.
and their relationship isn't like completely like isn't super tight. I totally saw that just by how it was shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say, like, I didn't understand symbolism in the composition of a movie or a TV show and what different nuances mean until
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched Parasite.
Shut the fuck.
That movie,
Oh my
Parasite.
God! Stop.
I'm
Dude,
serious.
When you were
like,
talking about, I literally was about to bring it up, but
Yeah.
but then you brought up Long Legs. But then I was like,
Yeah.
exactly no. But Parasite is exactly a great movie of how they frame shit.
Yes.
No, real talk. Like that movie
Yes.
is like, you see how like the symbolism of the rich and the poor, and then like kind of like,
Yes.
and like especially the basement, you just see kind of like
mhm.
they're at the table, and you kind of see the corridor right. You see the corridor right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, after watching that movie, and I still didn't get it right after I watched it, but I love the movie so much that I'm the kind of person, I'll go on a YouTube and I'll find somebody that talks about the movie after they watch it and they review it. And they were talking about the symbolism between upper
class
and
and lower
lower
class.
and dark and light and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, this makes so much sense. And that made me appreciate the movie so much more because a movie is more than just a script. It's visual as well, and like there's so much of the story is told by just how things are positioned. So when you showed me that clip of your short, I was like, dude, I totally get it because the little brother is like on the floor, focused on the game only. His little brother, his big brother, comes out from the back from a distance, and he's taller than him, bigger. And just that alone, the distance and like the height difference is like I know exactly what I'm looking at. I'm looking at like a superior, inferior. There's a distance. There's like no connection. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, dude, I get it. I totally get it. And you said that because it's a short, you wanted to pack as much information as you could in those few minutes. So
Yeah. And
damn, that's awesome.
thank you. No, you understood it right away, and that's the thing about not just with short films, like films in general. Like, I mean, that's the thing with just social media too, right? You have to connect audiences like right away. Like, what am I watching? What am I seeing? Like, I need to understand. I want to connect to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, the fact how you explained everything with just the levels of the relationship and then the angles that I use, it's like every frame is intentional, and this says a lot about everything with lighting, especially with like the warm and the cool and warm. Like cool is like more dramatic, warm is more like happier, lighter, right?
Yes.
So
Wow. No, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Am I secretly a movie nerd?
I think
Or
you
like a
are.
cinema nerd?
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. But yeah, I find that also fascinating. And it's kind of I feel like I'm kind of late on it because I did study fine art in college for a little while. So I kind of feel like, dang, I should have known. I should have seen these concepts and I should have known because we did learn about composition, looking at different Renaissance paintings and Baroque paintings and stuff like that. And it just brought everything back. I'm like, everything I learned about a painting is applied in movies and TV. And yeah, duh, hello, knock, knock. All right. So
Yeah.
speaking of movies and TV, you did mention that you're a fan of like Fresh Prince and all those shows growing up, but did you feel a way about maybe not seeing Filipinos or Asian people in the media when you were younger? Or did you even notice? Did you even realize?
No, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't notice. Honestly, with the Asian representation, I mean, like, I think the reason why, like, I gravitate. I mean, I love Full House too, right?
Yeah.
Full House is a great show, but like, I think any like black show that I saw, I felt more connected just because of like my own brown skin. I'm just like, oh, I think there's just that's a conversation itself, and I'll keep it short. But it's just kind of like I just identified with like just having that type of like minority like family dynamic, and I felt like, oh yeah, I like this a lot. I couldn't explain it. That's how I felt as a kid, but now when I look back, I'm like, oh, it's because I identified my skin with like shows like that.
I definitely understand that. And I kind of feel that way too, because I think where I grew up, it was very diverse. The school that I went to had maybe like a sprinkling of white people, and then everyone else was POC. So I didn't really feel, I almost felt like watching The Fresh Prince was like, I'm watching one of us, and us meaning like community. So I kind of feel that as well. So when you got into acting, did you feel like, you didn't have any obstacles or any kind of hurdles to jump over because you already felt kind of like there wasn't much of a void there for Filipinos?
You know, as the obstacle, I thought that was actually gonna, make it or break for me when I was like 9 or 10 was I thought I was too tall. I'm not even bullshitting. I was like,
what kind of roles were you going for?
I don't know. I just thought, no, I just honestly thought, I was like, I'm not going to go over the role. I'm not going to get anything because like I'm too tall. But then I realized as I got older, like it's actually, I should be
a positive thing.
Positive thing. Thank you. Great word. Positive thing. But the obstacle is that, no, you're right. There was not enough. I mean, I wouldn't even say there's not even enough. I mean, even now, there's not even that much Filipino representation, but it's starting to happen now.
Yes.
And another special shout out. Can I do that one?
Yeah, of course.
So special shout out to the Filipinx Actors Barkada. The one person is in here. Here's a cool Hollywood story. I want to share this. I was going to UCB Franklin. It's an improv show, right? Are you familiar with those?
Yes.
So basically, there's a Filipino AF show. It's like where they basically bring like a guest like this, interview, and then they tell a story like their upbringing, and they would make a whole improv scene out of it. Like, so whatever we just talked about, they would talk about, they would make a whole improv scene. But I literally bought the ticket an hour before, and I got there like 5 or 10 minutes, and it was like a long ass line. And this is like 2021, 2022. This is like masked up K9 95, like you couldn't really see anyone. And they're just telling us to back up and stuff. And then the person in front of me, I just kind of made small talk. And then she was like, introduced myself. Oh, and my name is Ray. And she's like, oh, I'm Denise. And I'm like, oh, who are you here for? I'm like, she's like, oh, I'm here for my friend Tony. He's only like one of the improvers. I'm like, oh, I'm here to see AJ Raphael, Ooh,
nice.
Mr. Week It Happened. She was mine. You know what I mean? Yeah. So to basically, with the reason why I'm shouting out the Filipinx Actors Barkada is because I was just asking Denise, like, oh, how long have you been acting? She's like, oh, I've been acting for almost 15 years. And I said, okay, well, out of the 15 years, what is one thing you could take away that you've learned? And she said, find a place that is a safe space, because this industry can be chaotic, but it could feel, challenging at times. But as long as you have a place you can call home, that's what that has helped me. And I never forgot that. And I said, and I told her that I'm just, an actor as well. And I'm shocked when he was even out yet, but I told her I booked it. And she's like, that's amazing. And I said, yeah, I want to just come out here for community. And then she's like, do you know the Filipinx Actors Barkada? And she was actually one of the co-founders of it. So,
wow.
And then ever since then, I have met so many Filipino actors within the whole industry. And I basically like have met a good portion of all the working actors that we see on screen now.
Nice.
So when it comes to representation, yes, I actually know the people who are auditioning, and then we have a group where sometimes some people, I get an audition and then I'll put the audition out, like, hey, did anyone get this one? Because I could see you for this role. And then we really uplift each other. We really, there's no ego, there's none of that. We really make sure that we're all like, we're here to support. So yeah, that's what I see in representation now, if I can say that.
That's amazing. Shout out to Denise.
Yeah.
Shout out to Denise.
Yes.
We're kind of talking about some of the questions that our main man, our producer Aaron, had set up for us. Mm-hmm. And one question, which was a great question that he had written out, was how are we... Actually, let me see. Let me sure I wrote it right. It was more along the lines of how can Filipinos be better represented? Yeah. And we started having conversations about, Filipino stories that aren't necessarily just for Filipinos. So do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, the thing about, you're talking about like how we can get the Filipino stories out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really plain and simple. We all share the same experiences universally, whether it's like loving someone, losing someone in a family, we have a lot of stories of that. And right now, I feel like Asian stories in general, any story is starting to become more of a thing. And what I want to really preface is that I want to make sure that we're telling universal stories that who we happen to be Filipino. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, it's like, I've gone through like a heartbreak. I've gone through like loving someone, but like seeing a love story in that. And it's not even about who we look or age or or was it age, race, what is it, what else,
Age, race, location.
location. but on a real note, it's like it doesn't matter like where we come from. It's the fact that everyone knows what that feeling's like, and that right now for me, I think that my thing is I want to be able to I am creating my stories, and I'm also helping other people create their perspective in life, and that's really what it is about film, is telling a story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I feel like there shouldn't really be that much of a hesitation to watch, an Asian cast or a Hispanic cast or an Indian cast when it comes to like movies about love and comedy movies, because I don't know what it is, but some people just find it to be a turnoff and like, oh, I'm not going to relate. I'm not going to like it. For example, Crazy Rich Asians. I know of a few people who I've seen like memes or people that have retweeted other people saying like, I'm not going to watch that movie. It's about Asians. I'm a white guy, or like I'm a black girl or something like that, right? But
It's crazy.
do y'all know that movie was adapted from a novel that was written by someone that's British and white? You know what I mean?
Huh?
So yeah, I think the original story took place in Great Britain, and it, instead of like a Singaporean royalty, I forget exactly the story.
That makes sense why in the very
Yeah.
first scene they're all British and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, so again, like you said, love is universal. It was kind of like almost like a Romeo and Juliet type of story. And those stories can transcend countries and cultures and things like that. And that's what Crazy Rich Asians was. And the acting was great. The comedy bits in there, the comic relief was amazing. So if you guys didn't watch it just because the cast didn't look like you, give it a shot. I mean, like, it's a great movie. And the story is relatable.
And another show we're talking about, like Beef.
Yes.
Yeah, so Stephen Yeun and Ali Wong, like, I love that show because it really is just like a universal story about like brothers, bickering and like seeing like two people in LA fight over, like get really road rage, and then you just kind of see the dynamic of husband and wife, Ali Wong's character, and you see Stephen Yeun's character with his brother, and then you kind of see that the Korean. I mean, obviously they're Korean, but it had nothing to do with them being Korean. But like, it was such a great way to just introduce a new world to other people without making it talk about their identity.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Like you forget what they are, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And you're just enthralled in the story because it gets so deep.
Yeah.
And I mean, road rage, I can relate to that. I get mad behind the wheel. I'm an angry driver.
Are you?
I am.
Oh, God.
But I keep it to myself. So you know what I mean? So like the next driver, he won't know that I'm raging, but I'm inside like,
okay, are you defensive or an offensive driver?
Ooh, that's a good question. Defensive.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm a defensive driver. Meaning I'm not the one like cutting people off. Is that what you're?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm not the one cutting people off. I'm usually the one being cut off.
Are you like guarded when you drive?
I kind of drive a little bit like an old lady. Like I rather veer on the side of safety. Although, unfortunately, sometimes I'd be looking at my phone, and that's a bad thing. But other than that, I kind of try to drive the speed limit or like with the flow of traffic. But then there's some a-holes during rush hour that just want to weave in and out,
for real.
with like no regard for other people's safety. You know what I mean? I hate that.
I do. Yeah, I agree with that. No, and I'm a defensive driver. I never want to risk anyone. It's just not worth it. There's like my dad used to say, like there's no first place trophy at the end of the day. At the end of the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. My okay, let's talk about our road rage peeves, or like our driving peeves. My biggest peeve that people do is that when they are about to miss their exit, they just take that risk. They drive 3 lanes to the right to make that exit versus just taking the next exit safely. You know what I mean? That I hate seeing that. It makes my heart jump every time.
Sure, because they're putting hell of people's lives in danger.
Yes, not just their own, but the people that might be in their way that they might not see. So what's your peeve?
I think my pet peeve is when I'm in a parking lot and someone's driving. They're like, go like this, like they look confused, and like I'm like, what are you doing? I don't want to be around you if you look confused. You don't know where you're going. Like, I'm just like, it's kind of like, what are you gonna? What's your next move? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you're in a parking lot. You're trying to find a spot, right? Just find it.
Just kind of like, say like you're in Santa Monica and there's just kind of like,
Oh.
and I'm like, oh my god.
Like, please make a decision. Do something. Anything. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. So yeah, if anything, you guys, you can relate to beef, or you can enjoy beef if you can relate to feeling road rage at any point in time. Let me ask you some like hot, like spitfire questions, this or that questions.
Okay, I'm gonna sit up for this one.
All right. So you have a wide range of characters that you've played. What is your favorite type of character to play?
Favorite. Honestly, I like playing characters like myself. I don't know if that makes sense, but I do have a series called CUNIG with my friend. Another special shout out, my friend Jacqueline Amy. She and I wrote this series during the writers and actors strike. And like, are you familiar with the writers and actors strike?
Yeah. Of last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we basically shot and written a short film, and I shot on my iPhone 14, and I did a lighting, and I basically wrote a character like that. I want to be myself on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a security guard. I don't want to be I don't mind being a security guard or a jock, but like I would love to have a 6'2" Filipino, kind of like myself, and being kind of like upbeat, outgoing and shit, and like talking like this. I like playing characters like myself, where people can be like, this is the generation, like this is like a normal thing within our age group, and that we talk like this.
Yeah.
Because like when you watch shows, like what is there any like shows that you see that you can kind of be like, oh yeah, that's how we talk?
Oh man. Yes, I can't think of any right now, but I do like watching shows. I like Broad City.
Yeah, Broad City's hella funny. Like those two girls are really funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Like that how girls talk like that. Like I love stuff like that. Like I like shows like Insecure.
Yes.
Like Issa Rae. Like Issa Rae.
Yes.
Like that the stylized like of having communications like that, like of Issa and Molly. Like those are the type of like dialogue I like to, like the realism of like, oh shit, that felt so real.
Yeah.
So characters like that, where people can be like, I remember when that happened to me. I know that character. I know that best friend. I know that. So I guess if I were to really be intentional and to be I would love to. I always like playing the best friend or brother or the love interest all in one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a role that you would refuse to play?
Yes, I would not ever play a bad guy that, like I don't ever want to play a guy who like, this is a sensitive topic, trigger warning. I don't want to play a guy who like shoots a school or shoot people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to play a guy who like sexually assaults someone either. You know what I mean? Because then it's just kind of like people could, how the media already covers. Like I don't want people to associate. It's all about association, like what you see on screen. I don't want to. I would never. I don't want to ever play. I don't want to, even if it's like a historical figure, like I don't want to ever like do shit like that.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
I definitely feel you on that, because it's like somebody, let's say that's their first time ever seeing any of your work.
Correct.
They might subconsciously associate you with that act.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a role, but the next time you see it, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't like that guy because he played so and so, and
yeah,
And
that, like with that, it's kind of like that's such a thing where I'm like, I don't want people to, as representation, right? I'm gonna go back to that. It's kind of like I'm representing Filipino people, if like Filams, and I don't want people to think that that's the shit that we do.
So
like that's the thing. I guess I want to share as an actor is that I'm portraying a lot of not like just one individual group, but just how people see us in America and globally. Because Filipinos, we're a small ass island, but like, Filipino people know Filipinos as either nurses or karaoke singer, like like sure, but like we're more than that,
Definitely.
And so that's why when I say with stuff like that, I would never. I don't want to do shit like that.
I completely feel you. Great answer.
Yeah.
Would you play a villain though?
I would play. Yeah, I would play a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll play the bad guy, where like I'll like if I have to like do a heist, you know what I mean? I'll, like it's like, oh, I need this money to like save, you know, I need this money so I can, you know, take care of like a loved one. I'm only doing it for that reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, but then you know that like my intentions are good, but like I know it's a bad thing. But that's what movies like heist movies are like that, or like I'll play like a really like I wouldn't say I would play a shitty boyfriend, but like I would play the argumentative boyfriend where it's like, dang, that was a tough conversation to have with the person. You know what I mean?
Got it. Food is such a central thing for Filipinos.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite dish growing up? Off topic, but.
Honestly, Filipino dish?
Yes.
Bistec.
Oh, yes. I don't hear that enough.
Yeah, bistec is hella good.
Extra onions, please.
Yeah,
I like
seriously,
the
I love.
onions.
You know, it was wild too. Like my mom, I didn't know what sabao, like the English word. I'm like, oh, I love sabao. And it's just fucking soup.
Yeah, right. It's broth, gravy,
Broth, yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So that was your favorite part of the bistec?
Yeah, bistec, like and adding hella onions and like, dude, I would like eat so much.
What's your favorite Filipino party food?
Party food? Give me an example. What's party food for you?
Lumpia, pancit, little desserts like kuchinta, puto.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the finger foods. Barbecue stick.
Barbecue stick's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say our spaghetti.
Ooh, the
see?
Filipino spaghetti. That's a good one.
Yeah, and
With hot dogs.
Yeah, with a hot dog. Yeah, but I like the spicy Jeff Fran sauce. I like spicy.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
good. You know what? You don't see a too much spice in Filipino food, but you see it
Yeah.
in the condiments. Like sometimes we like to add like peppers and jalapenos, and then like the spicy jufran.
Mhm.
When I was younger, I couldn't handle it, but now it's like nothing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? My taste buds have grown.
I know. No, I used to be picky as fuck, but like now I'm like, no, like any food's good now.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you were before you met your girlfriend, did
Mm.
she have very much like knowledge on Filipino food, or did you kind of have to like show her some things?
Oh no, I mean she grew up around hella Filipinos. No, no, like when I first met her, she used to like her love language is sending me music. So like
Oh.
she converted me from Apple Music to Spotify.
Spotify. But we're on both, y'all. You can
Yeah,
stream us on both.
And so she'd be like sending me stuff from like the Bay Area. She was like, do you know Pilo? I was like, do you know E4? Do you know Too Short? I was like, are you you know? I was like, yeah, I know these fools. Do you know Keep the Sneak? I was like, sure, yeah, of course I do. We talk. And so she already knew about she grew up around like Filipino people, and like so she knew about like the Bay Area culture. I think there's a lot of Filipinos in the Bay Area, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I should have said that. I'm from the Bay Area.
San Jose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Right?
Did I say that to you?
No. It's in your IMDb.
God, get the man. Yeah. What are you doing? Hey,
I called your mom. I
I
called your mom and I asked her about you.
Tita, where are you from?
Tita, where did that?
Oh, I mean,
You're from the Philippines via San Jose?
you know, I'm actually going to the Philippines,
When was the last time you visited?
2019, for my brother's wedding.
Oh,
That
nice.
shit's crazy, honestly, because for his wedding, I know they only like spend. I don't know how much they spend, but like, man, that shit was like a gala.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Crazy Rich Asian style?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah, they had like
All right.
same. You know what same day edits are?
No.
Basically, during the wedding day, they have the whole videography team. They would shoot like video everything, and then by the end of the night, they would have an edit of that day, of the day already.
At the end of the day, they would have the whole edit already done.
Yeah.
What?
And they were like,
That's
do all-
insane.
Yeah. So, but I'm going there. So my mom and dad actually retired in November 2022, and our dads are in the Navy.
Yes.
So my dad's on his pension, living that good life. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Man, so you know that money could go a long way in the Philippines. So I'm actually gonna surprise visit them. So that's what I'm about to do.
Yay. Oh.
And I'm leaving on the September 26th.
Nice.
And so I'm about to like,
That's awesome.
go to Palawan, just kick it.
Hell yeah.
I'm about to like document, take some photos, just kind of like, I think I'm going to use this trip as a cultural experience to just really kind of find my roots even more deeper and just have a better understanding of like where I come from too. You know what I mean?
Dope. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know you do photography and things like that, but do you vlog?
I do.
Okay. Can we go ahead and is that something that we can look forward to as
Yeah.
people that follow you online?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I think I want to create a documentary of like what it's like my 3 weeks in the Philippines. I think I would love to do that. So yeah, that's one of my passion projects is to really show my perspective in my life of my parents in the Philippines and like how much it means to me that they gave me the opportunity to be who I am today. So
Ooh.
special shout out to my mom and dad. You know what I mean? A lot of sacrifices.
Amazing. Yeah,
you know?
totally. Yeah, sometimes we lose sight of that as, first generation, but it's dope that you're showing tribute and you're giving them love right now. You're giving them their flowers. And for those of us that actually want to watch that journey, let the people know how they can follow you on social media.
Yes, my Instagram on social media is ray.raymundo. So ray.raymundo.
That's right. Be sure you follow him. Thank you so much for sitting with us. I think we've reached the end of our episode. We've ran long because, man, we were having some fun conversation here. But thank you for being here, and maybe we can invite you back sometime soon.
I would love that.
When you're back from the Philippines.
Yes,
maybe
I would love that. Thank you for having me.
Talk about your trip and all that. So, of course. Thank you for coming here and visiting our humble podcast.
Yes.
And we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to follow us on all social medias at the.Fillennials. You can listen to us on Apple Spotify. That's not a streaming service. I made that up. Follow us and listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And be sure to rate, subscribe, share, and like, and help us out. And any last shout outs for you, Ray?
Shout out to you for being an amazing host, and to Aaron, and to Mac for this amazing space. So I really appreciate being on here. So thank you.
And thank you for showing me how to pose for pictures.
Yeah, that's like every girl's favorite pose. It's just kind of like,
sultry.
yeah, and yeah, no, honestly, and it always fucking hits. They're just like, oh my god, is that how I look? Oh my, I've never taken a pic like that.
Is that me?
Yeah, no, and that's an amazing feeling being a photographer, is that I get to show them a perspective and kind of shape them in the way that's like, you are dope. You know what I mean?
Nice. I love that. I love that for you. I love that for me. And I love that for anyone else that you photograph from here on out.
Yeah.
So once again, you guys, my name is Lindsay Does It.
I'm Ray Ramundo.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye. Shut the